Hello students, this is Vishal Pandey and I welcome you all in my YouTube class. So basically, as you all know that we have started with the age of revolutions from 1830 to 1848. So I have already discussed that how France was influenced by revolutionaries and later on how Belgium got away from the United Kingdom of Netherlands. So today we are going to discuss how Greece was influenced by this revolutionary movement and what were the circumstances at which the independence of Greece, the Greek War of Independence totally based upon. We are going to discuss each and everything, and we will also try to understand the romantic imagination and the national feelings as well. So let's begin. Okay, children, so before I start the role of Greek war independence in France and in world history, let me tell you one story related with Greek war of independence. Basically, the Europeans feel that their civilization is somehow associated with Greece, which was situated at the juncture of Asia and Europe. So Greece was situated at the juncture of Europe and Asia. It means Greece was in between Europe and Asia. Now let us understand that Europe was totally based upon Christianity. Europe used to follow Christianity, and Asia was somehow the majority in Asia were the followers of Islams. In Asia, somehow the followers were Islams, and because we are talking that Greece is there in between Asia and Europe, so this is very important you to understand that Islamic zones were having their own influence on Greece. So somehow Europe felt that they are lacking their old civilization behind. For the sake of their old civilization, they protested and they fought against Islam, against Islamic regime, and ultimately they got the freedom, and the Greek War of Independence, Greece became free later on. So we are going to discuss what was the Treaty of Constantinople and everything. Now this because Ottoman Empire was ruling in 15th century in Greece, and it was based totally on Christianity, but later on the Greeks were they leave their place, their birthplace, their native place, and they moved to England and Austria, Italy and France, and later on. So they left Greece, and when they leave Greece, many invaders got a chance to invade Greece, and they did it. So finally in 1821, ultimately you have to keep this in your mind that Duke Metternich had already said that when France sneezes, rest of Europe catches cold. So when France sneezed, France became free, and then Belgium became free. Now it's time to Greece. Now it's time for Greece to become free. So many of the revolutionaries went there, they protest there. One of the famous is Lord Byron. Lord Byron. He was a poet by profession. He was a poet of English literature, and he belongs to the younger romantic age. He belongs to obviously romantic age, and he was the younger romantics, but he was having patriotism for Greece, to that Greece should become free from Islamic invaders. So he went there, and he started collecting money from the peoples for the liberation of Greece itself. So you can see the English poet Lord Byron organized funds and later went to fight in the war, where he died of fever in 1824. So finally he died in 1824. Then the Treaty of Constantinople was signed in 1832 between Greece as an independent nation. So Greece became an independent nation in the year 1832 by the Treaty of Constantinople. Now this is somehow it is known as Istanbul nowadays. So this was the association, this was the relation of Greece and the people of Greece and Europe. So how Europe and Greece was associated, because European feel, one more question which comes to your examination straight away, that which country is called the cradle of Europe? This is very important question. Straight away it asks sometimes that which country is called the cradle of Europe. So cradle of Europe is called, Greece is a country which is called the cradle of Europe, because Europe feel that Greece was a country which belongs to them, and they think that because they feel that their ancestors were from Greece, they were related from Greece, their the culture. Now let us understand what was the role of romantic imagination and national feeling. So try to understand the word, the literal basic word of romantic. This romantic word has been taken from the Romanticism. This was the age of English literature itself, and it shows love towards nature in literature. But here in history, the romantic imagination means, sometimes you can understand in detail, like the development of nationalism did not come about only through wars and territorial expansion, but culture also played an important role in the creating the idea of nation. Art and poetry, stories and music help to express the shape of nationalist feelings. You can see here it has been written that poetry, art and music played an important role to explore the emotions related with nationalisms. So this was also a method, a weapon used by people of France and throughout the Europe, that they use poetry, they use short stories, they use music to express their nationalist feelings. जैसा कि आप जानते हैं कि इंडियन वॉर ऑफ इंडिपेंडेंस में भी बहुत सारे लोग ऐसे थे जो कि लड़ना नहीं जानते थे, दे डोंट नो हाउ टू फाइट, दे वर नॉट एबल टू फाइट. तो वो लोगों का क्या काम क्या था, दे यूज टू राइट सम आर्टिकल्स इन द न्यूज़पेपर अगेंस्ट द गवर्नमेंट, अगेंस्ट द ब्रिटिशर्स, दे यूज टू राइट सम पोयम अगेंस्ट द ब्रिटिशर्स. तो इस तरह के जो लोग थे वो क्या करते थे, कहीं ना कहीं वो नेशनलिस्ट मूवमेंट को ही जिंदा रखने के लिए पोइट्री लिखा करते थे, स्टोरीज़ लिखा करते थे, म्यूज़िक, गीत लिखा करते थे. जैसे कि बहुत सारे सॉन्ग्स ऐसे हैं जिसे आप अगर सुने, पैट्रियाटिक सॉन्ग्स, तो एक दिल के अंदर एक ब्लड जो है वो एकदम हाई प्रेशर हो जाता है, देश के लिए कुछ करने की इच्छा हो जाती है. सो दिस इज़ व्हाट दे वर डूइंग इन यूरोप. Okay students, so as you can see on your screen that we have a story related with Prussia and Russia, because if you remember Treaty of Vienna, all the four countries, if we accept England, Russia, Austria and Prussia, these three countries got territorial expansion in France. They got some territories. So if you remember, Russia got full control over Poland. So what they did, Russian language was imposed on Poland. रशिया ने पूरी तरह से पोलैंड के ऊपर अपनी लैंग्वेज इम्पोज कर दी, थोप दी, जिसकी वजह से रशिया के लोगों के द्वारा किया गया ये काम इतना डेंजरस था, जिसकी वजह से वहाँ के लोग, यानी इट मीन्स द पीपल, द नेटिव्स ऑफ पोलैंड रिवॉल्टेड. और उसमें मैंने कहा कि नहीं, ये हमारा जो टॉपिक चल रहा है वो रोमांटिक इमेजिनेशन एंड नेशनल फीलिंग्स का चल रहा है, जिसमें हम ये समझेंगे कि हाउ द पीपल दोज हु आर नॉट फाइटिंग बट दे वर यूजिंग देयर राइटिंग्स एज अ वेपन टू जिसके वजह से वो लोगों के अंदर एक शक्ति पैदा करते थे जिससे कि लोग लड़ना स्टार्ट कर दें। तो इसी तरह के प्रशिया के एक आर्टिस्ट थे जिनका नाम था कैरोल कर्पिंस्की। यहाँ से क्वेश्चन आता है एग्जाम में। कैरोल कर्पिंस्की वॉज अ मैन, ही वॉज एन आर्टिस्ट ऑफ प्रशिया इटसेल्फ, जिन्होंने ओपेराज और म्यूज़िक के द्वारा लोगों को बताया कि नेशनल फीलिंग्स क्या होती हैं और नेशनल फीलिंग्स लोगों के अंदर जगाया। फोक डांसेस हुआ करते थे, म्यूज़िक हुआ करती थी, जिसकी वजह से लोग बहुत ही ज़्यादा रिवॉल्यूशनरीज बनने के लिए लोग प्रेरणा लोगों को मिलती थी। सो दिस वाज एन ऑस्पेक्ट of romantic imagination and the growth of national feelings. If we talk about the folk dances which were very famous in Prussia at that time, the first one was Polonaise and second one was Mazurka. You can see here as well that folk dances like Polonaise and Mazurka into nationalistic symbols. So these dances and music and songs and operas, so and so forth, were the symbol of nationalism in Poland. And then in the result, what had happened after that these all events in Poland became free ultimately because the Russian language was imposed everywhere. So in 1831, after that, Pope, the people related from the churches, a religious man, they gathered and they revolt against the Russian authorities, and this way the use of Polish came to be seen as a symbol of struggle against Russian dominance. तो बहुत सारे लोगों ने, चर्च के लोगों ने, रिलीजियस लोगों ने, पढ़े लिखे लोगों ने, आर्टिस्टों ने, सब लोगों ने मिलकर रशिया के खिलाफ रिवॉल्ट किया। और ये एक रिवॉल्यूशन जो था, इससे ये पता चला कि किस तरह से रोमांटिक इमेजिनेशन भी, यानी वे लोग जो कि स्ट्रेट अवे दे आर नॉट एसोसिएटेड विथ रिवॉल्यूशंस, दे आर नॉट रिवॉल्यूशनरीज, बट एट द सेम टाइम दे कैन डू समथिंग थ्रू विच दे कैन enhance the nationalistic movements itself. We will understand now that what was the role of hunger, hardship and popular revolt in France and then throughout the Europe. Hunger, hardship and popular revolt, तीनों जो है एक अलग अलग शब्द है, but we will understand it. Hunger is related with hungerness, and hardship, the labor, those who are working throughout day and night, and the revolt which was done by revolutionaries. So कुछ चीज़ें हैं जो मैं बता दूं आपको, बहुत ही ज़रूरी है जानना। हंगर, हार्डशिप और पॉपुलर रिवॉल्ट। हंगर कब आता है किसी देश में हार्डशिप कब आता है लेबर्स के लिए, और रिवॉल्ट कब होता है। दिस इज़ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट टू यू टू अंडरस्टैंड. Basically in this story, as you can see, this is the paragraph which is related with poverty, which is related with unemployment. So I have make some points, I have written here some points that you could understand easily. First of all, in the late in the mid of the 19th century in France and throughout in Europe, the population was increasing very hazardously. The population was increasing. So increasing in the population, this was also a factor of hunger and hardship. Because if population is increasing, अगर बहुत ज़्यादा लोग, population बहुत ज़्यादा बढ़ रही है, तो डिमांड जो है वो बहुत ज़्यादा होगा किसी चीज़ की, और कह सकते हैं कि अगर प्रोडक्शन उतना नहीं है तो लोग कहीं ना कहीं भूखे ही रहेंगे। अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट बढ़ा, इंक्रीजिंग इन पॉपुलेशन होने से अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट बढ़ा, नौकरी नहीं मिलती थी लोगों को, लोग बेरोज़गार रहने लगे, और माइग्रेशन होने लगा लोगों का, गांव से माइग्रेशन करके लोग शहरों की तरफ जाने लगे इन सर्च ऑफ जॉब्स। तो हालांकि देखा जाए तो इसी एज में इंडस्ट्रियलाइजेशन भी स्टार्ट हो रहा था, बट पीपल वर नॉट गेटिंग जॉब अप्रोप्रिएटली। तो माइग्रेशन होने लगा लोगों का गांव से शहरों की तरफ, एंड पीपल स्टार्टेड माइग्रेटिंग. देन व्हेन दे वेंट इन द सिटीज़, देयर वाज अ स्टिफ कंपटीशन अमंग देम. बहुत ज़्यादा कंपटीशन था, जो बहुत ज़्यादा योग्य होगा, बहुत ज़्यादा टैलेंटेड होगा, उसी को हम जॉब पे रखेंगे, अदरवाइज आपको नहीं रखेंगे. सो दिस वाज द स्टिफ कंपटीशन in industries as well and in between the among the peoples as well. So this was the competition and people started widespread pauperism in town and country. Pauperism stands for the poverty. Pauperism means poverty. So poverty was a very important, poverty was playing an important role in the, when the people were depressed, when people were migrating from village to city areas. So what happens, because I have already mentioned that we are discussing the age of revolutions from 1830 to 1848. तो 1848 में exactly हुआ क्या कि ये सारी conditions होने के बाद अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट बढ़ गया, पॉपुलेशन बढ़ गया, माइग्रेशन बढ़ गया, और उसके साथ साथ क्रॉप्स प्रोडक्शंस कम होने लगे, एंड ड्रॉट समटाइम्स पीपल जो है कि बहुत सारे फार्मर्स का, पीजेंट्स का क्रॉप डिस्ट्रॉय हो गया. तो इन सारी चीज़ों को लेकर लोग जो है किसको ब्लेम करने लगे, क्योंकि ये सारी इन सारे डिफरेंट प्रॉब्लम से सॉल्यूशन देने का काम किसका था, किंग का, और किंग सॉल्यूशन दे नहीं पा रहा था. सो इन द ईयर 1848 पीपल स्टार्टेड रिवॉल्ट अगेंस्ट लुइस फिलिप. हालांकि ये सिर्फ एक कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल मोनार्क बन के रह गया था, बट अल्टीमेटली इन 1848 में पब्लिक ने इसको, लुइस फिलिप को एकदम से फ्रांस के अंदर से इसको हटा दिया. ही वॉज नो किंग एट ऑल एंड ही वॉज फोर्स टू फ्ली. लुइस फिलिप वॉज फोर्स टू फ्ली. फ्ली मीन्स रन अवे. उसने अपनी जान बचाई, वो भाग गया, एंड अल्टीमेटली फ्रांस बिकेम अ फ्री कंट्री. So there should be a question in your mind कि if the king ran away then what happens, कि क्या हुआ जब राजा चला गया, then what happens, how the government works. So when the king ran away and the democracy was imposed, national assembly was conducted, national assembly was organized, proclaimed a republic, granted suffrage to all adult males above 21. सो ये डिसाइड किया गया कि एक नेशनल असेंबली बनाई गई जो कि रिपब्लिक थी. रिपब्लिक, व्हाट इज रिपब्लिक? रिपब्लिक इज अ फॉर्म ऑफ गवर्नमेंट of which head of the government will be an elected person. So republic is something in which the head of the government, head of the body of government will be elected by us, the public. So ये डिसाइड किया गया कि the people, those who are the male people, those who are above 21 years of age, they will be granted a right to vote, and national workshop to provide employment were set up. और एक ऐसी एजेंसी का गठन किया गया, एक ऑर्गेनाइज्ड किया गया जिससे कि जॉब देने का काम दिया गया. नेशनल वर्कशॉप टू प्रोवाइड एम्प्लॉयमेंट वर सेटअप. तो ये सारी चीज़ें फ्रांस में अब होने लगी. एक स्टोरी आपको बताता हूँ विच इज़ रिलेटेड विद द स्टोरी ऑफ वीवर्स ऑफ सिलेसिया. सिलेसिया एक विलेज था जिसकी ये स्टोरी है कि यहाँ पे कुछ वीवर्स रहा करते थे, एंड वीवर्स वर वेरी हैप्पी, बट अल्टीमेटली दे वर नॉट गेटिंग देयर अप्रोप्रिएट वेजेस बाय मर्चेंट्स. मर्चेंट्स जो हैं वो उनको काम देते थे, बट अल्टीमेटली वो उन्हें उतना पैसा नहीं देते थे जितना कि उनका राइट बनता था. सो वीवर्स रिवॉल्टेड. वीवर्स ने रिवॉल्ट किया, और रिवॉल्ट करने के बाद वो शहरों में गए, मर्चेंट्स के घर पे गए, मर्चेंट्स को मारा एंड ऑल. दे लूटेड ऑल द मटेरियल्स, ऑल द मनी फ्रॉम द मर्चेंट्स हाउस. तो इसमें आर्मी को इम्पोज करना पड़ा और आर्मी ने बहुत सारे वीवर्स को भी क्या किया, शूट किया. यू कैन सी क्लियरली द आर्मी इन द एक्सचेंज दैट फॉलोड 11 वीवर्स वर शॉट. तो ये भी एक रिवॉल्यूशन कहीं ना कहीं निकल कर वीवर्स के, जो कि पीजेंट्री को बिलोंग करते थे, जो कि थर्ड स्टेट को बिलोंग करते थे फ्रांस के, वहाँ से लोग रिवॉल्ट कर रहे थे. कॉमन मैन स्टार्टेड रिवॉल्टिंग अगेंस्ट द गवर्नमेंट, अगेंस्ट द किंग. Each and everything was going in France at that particular period of time. Now we will make, in our next video, I will make a video. Basically it will depend on the revolution of the liberals, how liberals were involved in revolution. So you have to make proper note with this. You have to go through this video, watch it, make proper note. If there is any confusion, talk to me and contact me. Our next video will be on the topic the revolution of the liberals, and we will going to discuss how the unification of Germany and Italy came upon the platform. Till then, take care. Bye bye.